Randy is described as the totally obsessed time management email guy.
That's who I am, the totally obsessed time management guy. I've spent the last 20 years sort of becoming known as this guy. Email is not necessarily the distraction that keeps you from getting your job done. When used properly, it may actually assist you in getting your work done. Have yourself a personal account, be that a Yahoo account, a Gmail account, a Hotmail account, that you check on your personal time before and after work. Now, some people will go, hey, Randy, wait a minute, what about my lunch hour? That's my time, isn't it? Can't I go check my personal account on my lunch hour, which is my time? And I go, ooh, that's a little iffy. Are you still on your workstation at work, at your desk? Are you still using their internet access? Yee, that gets a little iffy. Here's what you do if it's lunchtime. You want to check your personal email. You look across the way, you see Steve down the hall. He's getting ready to leave for lunch. As he walks away, you sneak over to his terminal, check your email. That's a joke. Don't do that. A recent study from the Institute of Psychiatry at the University of London suggests that your IQ falls 10 points when you're fielding constant emails, text messages, and phone calls. My apologies to all of you that is your job description, by the way. To put that in perspective, that's roughly the same loss you'd experience if you missed an entire night's sleep and more than double the 4-point loss you'd have after smoking marijuana. You can't make this stuff up. Constantly checking your email makes you twice as dumb as a pot smoker. Carbon copies, forwards, and replies. My favorite message. Many of you have already received it once or twice this week. It's 7 pages long. It's been forwarded 4 times previously. And at the top of the message, the person sending it to you did this great little favor of one of 3 little things they wrote. 1, just thought you'd want to know, ... 2, can you please handle this, ... Or 3, what are those 3 little letters? FYI should be fundamentally outlawed. It drives me nuts. The fun about this is this is my 3rd BlackBerry. I remember the day I walked in with my first one. I come into my house all excited because it was my first smartphone. I used to use the Palm PDAs, but they weren't smartphones yet. And it was my first smartphone, meaning I had email and internet. And I was so excited. Come walking into my house, I go, hey, hon, check it out, I got my new BlackBerry. And I thought my wife would be excited too. I got a slightly different response. All right, not the kind of person to give ultimatums, though. I've only had 2 ultimatums in our 13-year relationship, both related to this. Here's what happened. I come walk in, and I go, hey, hon, check it out, got my new BlackBerry. She looks at me, she goes, does her best Clint Eastwood. Ooh, I don't like those crackberries. That's what she calls them, crackberries, right? You know, she's like, you're going to bring one of those in this house, you need to know 2 things. I see how people use these things. I go, uh-oh, here it comes. What's that, hon? She goes, number 1, that thing's got an off button. I go, okay, what's number 2? She goes, I tell you to use that off button, you use that off button. I went, message received loud and clear. Is there a way to take an email that had a task you needed to get done and migrate it into your task list so you got the copy of the email too? Watch this, guys. This is exciting. I'm going to go into my mail. And let's say I got this contract completed for Carol. And I wanted to track the date I got this contract completed and sent back over to Carol. I'm going to single left click and hold this email, and then I'm going to drag it over to tasks and drop it. Ooh, cool. Now, watch this. The completed task on this date. Due date, I'll just say it's today. Priority high, status completed. How long did that take? I am a big believer from all my reading and study in time management philosophies. Single calendar, work and personal fully integrated. That way you can sort of see what you're doing with your time, regardless of whether it's work or personal related, making the best decisions of your time. Single task list. First, work and personal related mixed together so that when you've got open block time, you can figure out what's the smartest and most efficient, productive, prioritized thing you can do with that block of time. Single contact list, because, you know, doesn't it seem that you need your work contacts when you're at home and your home contacts when you're at work and vice versa? Yeah. But when it comes to email specifically, I'm now advocating a minimum of 3 email accounts, 3 separate non-linked email accounts. First account, is your work account, and you use that work account for work-related email communications and work-related email communications only. Use it for your clients, your key customers, your coworkers, your supervisor, your vendors, and only those people. Do not give that email account address to those evil, devious family and friends, right? Because if they got your email address at work, what are they going to do with it? You tell me. They're going to use it, aren't they? And what do they send you 90% of the time? Jokes. I heard jokes. This is what I love. It's the 3 J's. Jokes, junk, and JPEGs. Isn't that what they're sending you? I must give you a few too many ideas. How'd I do? Pick the best 3 to 5. Go get them in your Outlook right away if you can, because then you're going to get your time back. One of the things I recommend you do, grab every loose piece of paper in your office, build the grandmother of all piles, and put it into the grandmother of all stacks and piles, and do a 3-minute purge. Take 80%, it's all the stuff you need to file it, get rid of it. You can either file, trash, shred, or recycle. Take everything else that's left over, shred, delete, take what's left, 3 minutes or less, get it done, knock it down to here, sort it into order. Do that, knock it down to here. Then do the 3-minute rule, knock it down to here. Thank you for your time.